Hi, I'm Andy Strickland. I'm the family life pastor here at Life Point, and I got a story about being spirit-led that happened to me 7 years ago this October. I'd been out of a job for a little bit, got laid off by the company I worked for, and had been out of church for a while as well because we got hurt at the church. My wife and I did, and we just didn't feel like going for a while. And was filling out my LinkedIn profile to try to find a new job because LinkedIn was the way to be back then, I guess. It still is now, but I was filling my profile out, and I heard God tell me, you need to get back to church. And I was like, yeah, I need to get back to church. That's a great idea, God. He's God. It's good ideas to listen to what he says. But I was more focused on the LinkedIn thing and kept filling out my profile. And after I got the profile filled out, it popped up and said, you may have a connection to this person. It was this person named Jeff Wilson. And I thought through my head, and I was like, I don't know a Jeff Wilson. So then I looked at it a little bit closer, and LinkedIn had tied me to this person because they went to Rhema. And I was like, oh, I went to Rhema. And I was like, that's cool. He and I went to Rhema, so it's putting us together that way. And then I looked a little closer, and it said he's in Dayton, Ohio. And I was like, oh, he's here in Dayton. Then I looked at it, and it said Life Point Church. And I was like, I've never heard of that church. So I did what every person would do using the internet nowadays, and I Googled it. And lo and behold, it was just a couple miles from our house, and I'd never seen the place before. And deep down inside, I felt this is where you need to go. And so I just kind of decided after I did all that, I was going to come and check out Life Point Church that Sunday. And I remember walking in the doors of the church that Sunday and getting greeted by people, and it felt great. And I was like, hey, they're nice people here. I sat in the back row and sat by the sound system because I like watching the sound, man. I ran sound for years too. And was just enjoying the service and enjoyed the message, and walked up and said hi to the pastor afterwards and just told him, hey, I was a Rhema grad too. And he said, hey, we'll have to catch up sometime. And then he went off, and was talking to people, not ignoring, just he was busy. And I understood and went home that night, and that afternoon, I waited for Susan to get home from work, and I told her, I said, you need to go to church with me next week. We're going to go to this Life Point Church. It's a cool place. So we, that next Sunday, came to the church and sat back in the same back row and just took it all in, was watching things, and I looked over and there was a tear coming down Susan's face, and I asked her, is she okay? And she goes, yes, this feels like home. And I told her, yeah, it feels like home. I agreed with her, and that was 7 years ago, and we came up here to Ohio back in 2003 because God told us to get up here and said he had something for us to do in Ohio. And we hadn't found it yet, but then 7 years ago, this place came along and we felt like we found it, and here we are 7 years later. And all I know is after that time and after that moment, right now, we're just getting started.